Good morning, everybody. It's Meg from Books Off the Beaten Path, and we are here for another early morning book review. And our book review this morning will be Agnes Grey by Brontë. I love half-price books, but let's get that sticker off. Agnes Grey by Brontë. It doesn't rhyme for a reason. It's a short book. It's a small book. It's her first novel, and let's just do a shout out. Let's take a moment and do a shout out to the Brontë sisters because they were so talented. Everybody, I think, except, was it Emily or Charlotte who wrote Wuthering Heights? I cannot stand Wuthering Heights. But y'all know how much I love Jane Eyre. I love Villette. I love The Tenant of Wildfield Hall, and I am in love with Agnes Grey. This is canon now. This is part of Meg's canon. Okay, so let me give you the setup. Agnes is born of this kind of odd pairing of a couple. The mother comes from a lot of money, and she's in love with a rector, a clergyman, and she wants to marry the clergyman, and the father says, wait a second, Twitch is making an approach. Twitch, I don't want my video ruined this early in the morning. Please, please. I may have to pause in a minute. Anyway, so the very wealthy mother wants to marry the Reverend, and the grandfather of Agnes says, fine, go ahead and marry him. You want to marry him, but you'll never get a cent of my money, not a penny of it, if you marry him. And she's like, well, okay, fine, I'm gonna marry him. So she marries him, and she kind of gets stuck with this massive depressionist. So what he does is he's always trying to, I'm holding onto the camera so the cat can't get it. Hold on, let me pause and put this cat up just a second. Okay, I'm back. We all know how much Twitch loves the spotlight, but you can't have it this morning. So anyway, where was I? Okay, yeah, so the mother who has money goes and marries the clergyman who doesn't have any money. And the grandfather says, you'll never get a cent to buy him because you're making a bad decision. And so the mother is this just charming, happy, contented, very independent, very resourceful woman. And the clergyman is he's depressed all the time, and kind of sad about this, sad about that, and everything like that. But whereas I don't know that I would put up with it that long, Agnes's mother puts up with it. And so the clergyman decides that he's going to do this get-rich-quick scheme. And so he invests all of his money in this merchant. He doesn't really tell us what he's doing, but the ship is lost at sea, and so all of his money is, of course, lost at sea also. And so he kind of takes to the bed and is like, oh, I don't know, we don't have any money now. No one's going to marry our children. So they have Agnes and Mary. And so Agnes, who is the youngest, has always been kind of petted on and everything like that. And she's like, well, I want to go and be a governess, and I want to help contribute to the family funds, and I want to go and be a governess. And the mother is like, ooh, you're going to regret that. You're not going to like that one little bit, because people are strange out there, and people can be wicked, and people can be not nice, and you're going to regret that. But she lets Agnes go and do it. And the first family that Agnes gets to has like a Victorian Ted Bundy character in it. It's this little boy, and he likes to torture animals. Like, he roasts this bird alive just to see what it would do and everything like that. I mean, if you're averse, as I would like to think that most of my viewers are, to animal cruelty, get ready for it in Agnes, because there's a lot of animal cruelty in Agnes. But that was one of the reasons why I love the ending, and I'll tell you that in just a second. I'm not going to reveal all too much. But anyway, so he's horrible. The kids are horrible. She just can't control them whatsoever. They won't do anything she says. They're roasting birds over the fire. It's just a horrible situation. And so she gets let go. And she gets let go because they blame her for all the kids' bad behavior. And she's just devastated about that. She's just really, she's so embarrassed and she's so upset. So she goes back home and she decides she wants to try again. And so Mama's like, let's do it this way. Instead of you offering yourself up to an advertisement, you make an advertisement for yourself and say, I'm Agnes Gray and I can do these things and this is how much I charge and do you want me? And so Agnes is like, okay, we'll turn it on its head, we'll do that. So she does that, she goes to a second family, and the second family have 2 boys, and I guess they're kind of unruly, but they go off to school, we don't care about them. They go off to school, but she has these 2 sisters, Matilda and Rosalie, and they're both pretty and fairly wealthy and spoiled and everything like that. And Rosalie especially has these, what do you want to call them? She's so spoiled and she's so vicious. She has these episodes of viciousness that are shocking, in that this guy loves her. I'll just give you an example. This guy loves her and she knows this guy loves her, and so she strings him along deliberately just so that she can crush him when he asks her to marry him. And it's just bad. But they find out, Rosalie and Matilda, the 2 girls, find out that Agnes has got a little crush on Mr. Weston, who is the curate of the church. So you got the rector and you got the curate. So he's like second in command. And so what they do is they stop allowing Agnes to go to church because Mr. Weston seems to be returning the crush part. He seems very interested in Agnes and Agnes in him. So they stop allowing her to go to church. And then they tell him all sorts of horrible things. Like, he asks why he hasn't seen her in church, and they're like, because she's wicked and she doesn't want to go. And she hates church, and she's an awful person, and everything like that. And they just do horrible things to Agnes. But they get their comeuppance. Rosalie especially gets her comeuppance because she marries somebody for the money and finds out it's not worth it. It's simply not worth it. So anyway, towards the end of the book, Mr. Weston and Agnes, and I'm not gonna reveal the ending, but it's a happy ending, and I think we know that. But what he does is he brings her, in addition to everything else, he brings her dog back. And I just wept. I was just like, oh, of course he's the perfect man for you, Agnes. Of course he is. And the last line of the book, and I'm not going to read it to you. Am I going to read it to you? I always say I'm not, but I'm not. The last line of the book is, and now I think I have said sufficient. Isn't that a great last line? I mean, you never think of last lines. You think of first lines, the opening lines, of passages in books, of speeches, of monologues, everything like that. But a last line, a closing line. I think The Great Gatsby had a great closing line too, about seeing what was, after the green light, seeing past the green light. But let's get out to some classics. It's Victober. I said that I was going to read some Victorian, and I was able to get this one in, and it was wonderful. It's canon now. It's part of my canonical 50 or whatever I have. So the next book I'm going to read, I'm probably going to read the Jack the Ripper book, the I Stalked Jack the Ripper book, Probably going to start reading that. And I have some tags to do, which I'm so excited about. So excited about these tags. And what else? What else could I tell you? Agnes Gray. Check it out. And I will check you later.